Why is Russia so big? Russia is spread across 11 time zones. It encompasses over 100 languages. Its territory is equivalent to 11% of the total world's land mass. How did this country even get so big? Russia used to be a small settlement. It was located in the northeastern part of Kievan Rus. The Rostov-Suzdal Principality was the cradle of the Russian language. It gradually evolved into the Grand Duchy of Moscow. Before this, numerous principalities were at constant war. The Mongol invasion in the 13th century saw both Kiev and Moscow destroyed. By then, Kievan Rus was no longer united. Until 1480, Mongols ruled over its lands, including Russia. Ivan the Great ended their dominance. He consolidated the Muscovite rule. He was also the first Russian ruler to style himself Tsar. Ivan expanded Russia's territory through war. He also seized territory from his dynastic relatives. His grandson was an even greater conqueror. Ivan the Terrible became the Tsar of all Rus in 1547, aged 16. He went on to conquer tribes in Siberia and the Far East. These regions now comprise 77% of Russia's territory. By 1645, the Russians had advanced all the way to the Pacific Ocean. How did they do it? For one, they didn't meet any major resistance. Most tribes were willing to join Moscow. These sizable regions were, and are, cold and sparsely populated. Today, Siberia accounts for 1/5 of Russia's population. There are just 8 people per square mile. Back in the 17th century, the number was even lower. The Russians were not looking to subdue the native tribes. They were more interested in furs. It was a prized commodity in their trade with Europeans. The locals carried on with their lives. From time to time, they paid tribute. It was in the form of furs, called yasin. In exchange, Russia guaranteed their safety. The country's expansion in the west and south wasn't so smooth. By the 18th century, Russia had turned into an empire. But Poland, Turkey, and other powers had to be taken into account. They all fought over new territory. Still, the Russian Empire never stopped expanding. It came to cover an area of 8.8 million square miles. It extended from the Black Sea in Europe to the Bering Strait in Asia. Russia occupied nearly 1/6 of the world's land mass. But such a sizable country couldn't be easy to govern. State officials didn't have a clue what was happening at their borders. A report from 1865 read General Mikhail Chernyayev had taken Tashkent. Nobody knows why he did this, and to what end. The Russian Empire ceased to exist in 1917. It evolved into a socialist state, the Soviet Union. It comprised 15 republics and nearly 130 ethnic groups. The Soviet Union was also expanding in its early years, but its borders did not change after World War II. Russia's current borders correspond to those it had as a Soviet republic. Despite its size, Russia remains largely uninhabited. It's only the world's 9th most populous country. Russia is populated by 146 million people. It's only 20 million more than Japan, a country 45 times smaller. Given today's situation, Russia's population will only continue to decline.